Hi guys, Dennis here from Denny Bob's RC construction conversions and stuff here. Well, I'm just working on my Case 688 16th scale. This is video number 2, and I'm going to kind of show you my progress on what I've done so far. Um, a lot of it was in video 1, and we'll go through kind of what I have done since then. Well, here it is. So far, I've got the tracks and everything on it. I'm going to be changing the motors out yet. I just have these motors in here just for setup, just to kind of get my track set up and everything. We'll flip her on her back side here. I went in and that's a 1/4 by 1 aluminum piece that goes the full length inside here, and then the bolts are going through and holding my rollers, my track rollers. I built each and every one of them, 14 of them to be exact, and then that is threaded into this backside here, and countersunk them so they're kind of nice and recessed in there. And then I made my front rollers out of some 60 aircraft aluminum. Started off with a 2-inch piece and had to cut them down to 1 5/8 and then put the step in them to fit in the tracks. These are tracks off a Hoyna 580, and the sprockets are from a brooder conversion from Magom. They are for like the 320 brooder conversion. I've got pretty much all the track drive done. I've actually got the turret motor or the slew motor mounted in there to the gears, and it will swing right and left. I'm not going to push it back and forth because it is a gear reduction motor and may damage the gears by forcing it one way or the other. It's better to let the motor drive it than it is to try to force it back and forth, but it is nice and tight, and the whole slew thing nice and tight. Now I've got both sides done. There's no spring-loaded tensioner on the tracks, but I've got plenty of slack in the tracks, I think. I ended up going with some 1/4 inch high abrasive plastic to go in there for the guide for the track on the top. I was going to mount a roller in there, but I'm kind of limited on my space in here to put a roller on here and get in the road of everything else. So I left that. That's fine. That'll work. So that's my process so far. Just going to do a little, this is a 336 Cabalite. Just kind of give you a size comparison. And I did cut the back door off and make hinges for it. They're just dollhouse hinges that I bolted on each side, and that's where I've got for room. It doesn't look like a lot of room, but I'm going to custom build a tank to go in this area right there, and I think I'll have plenty of room to mount a 3-spool valve and as a pump in here as well, a brushless pump, small brushless pump. I should have plenty of room, and then I should have plenty of room up here on the top for a battery. So it should be all right. It's kind of a tiny thing for me to be working on, but now as far as the boom goes, I am using the stock mount for that. I did make a mount underneath. Then I'm going to mount a deal here to bolt the hydraulic cylinders in. I have to take and machine this off here yet. I'll probably leave this meat material here so I can bolt my cylinders, fasten them both sides here and here for the boom lift. And then I'll make a bracket for the bottom here for them to anchor to. The reason I have the Cabalite out here is due to the stroke of these cylinders right here is almost perfect for the boom lift here. Comes out about perfect, and then one of those cylinders to actuate the stick. Now, I am still working on trying to plan out what I have to do to make my brackets and everything for the bucket yet. That's another thing I still got to figure out, but yeah, I got to take and machine this all off, and then I'll make an anchor point for a cylinder here to here. Should be the perfect stroke. I'll drill a hole, pin it here across, and so far so good. It's been kind of frustrating working with this die cast to try and get enough room and machine stuff and get everything to fit right. It's been kind of a joy. Not really. Been a pain in the ass, to be totally honest with you. I don't know how some of these guys do these smaller excavators, but it all looking pretty good. It's turning out pretty well, I think, anyway. I made some brass pins to go across for the front idlers and everything, so I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be just fine. But anyway, that's my progress so far. Yeah, I have some other projects going and I need to get on those, so I may put this in a box for a little bit, and I've got some parts ordered for this, and I got to figure out what I got to do for cylinders. I think I am going to try to get some of the cylinders for the Hoyna, not the Hoyna, for the Cabalite 336, the boom lift. I'll get 3 of those to do my stick, but what I'm trying to do is get everything lined up to what I need to order and just place one order and not order a little bit here and a little bit there, because I do have to have some fittings and whatnot. I've got plenty of the 3mm hose and the 4mm hose. I got plenty of that stuff in stock, and I've got plenty of the 4mm fittings, but I'm going to need some 3s to do the Cabalite stuff because it's a little smaller. And I want to keep the scale down a little bit too, because I don't really want to run the huge 4mm line up and down the boom on this thing, because it is pretty small and I want to keep it smaller. So I'm going to try and go with the 3mm that's 2mm ID, 3mm OD. I just got to get some fittings for that, and I'm going to be custom building my own hydraulic reservoir to fit. It will basically fit right in this area, and then I'll have the fittings coming out the back side, and try to do a I may make it so that I can make a fill here, right where the stock tank is here. That might have been a fuel tank in the original machines, but for this I might do it for the hydraulic. Haven't really gotten quite a ways. But well, this is video 2 of my Sorry Nada step-by-step, showing me all doing all the machine work and the milling and the grinding, and yeah, I think just about everybody's seen a machine run and a lathe run, but there is a lot going into this thing. So I did have to put a relief here so that I could get my slew motor sitting where it needs to be sitting, and I may make a little door to go over top of this and kind of cover it up and paint it to match the machine. I'm going to try to leave as much of the original patina on this machine as I can, so I may take a lot of these other parts off, and I'll get this brown and I'll paint those parts separate and just kind of keep a lot of the natural patina of this machine, due to the fact that trying to get these decals, I got a guy that probably could do them, but I want to leave the originals on here. I'll leave the original scrapes and the scratches on it, and I may take the tracks and get them painted brown like the originals were, and I may actually take these and machine the center bar out of these like I do my dozer tracks to get a little more grip out of them. It's an excavator. It's not intended to go off-roading, and I'm not going to do it real fast. I'm actually going to buy some slower speed motors for the tracks. The 56s were, I think, too fast. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit more. But anyway, there it is. My process and progress so far. You guys have a good one.